sound like you normally do in there.
I don't sound like I usually do. Is this better? Yes.
So you
Do
keep
that
talking,
again?
and I'll make sure that it's working.
Oh, you'll make sure this is play it again. Sweet ass reverb.
Sweet ass. Let's see.
I bet it's not working.
Huh? Who said it's not working?
I bet because I'm realizing that no, it should be working.
It's working.
Yeah.
We're so
Oh,
amateur.
look at that.
Look how amateur we are. Is that embarrassing? Slightly.
Yeah. That's all we said. What are you talking about? We
Well,
had
this
we had
isn't my
professional
gig.
professional
This is
music.
Your setup, not mine. Hey guys.
So
Last week we talked about being
welcome.
Hello. Last week, say hello when you're here. Last week we talked about being a control freak. Did we not?
We touched upon it. So, being that I'm a little more relaxed and impromptu about stuff, I was
Unlike
not
my
as
uptightness.
I was not as like I figure we'll talk about anything and allow the spontaneity occur. So but,
just so you know how against my nature this is.
It is.
When I'm in the flow, I like to talk about things, but I don't really do anything without a plan.
Yeah.
I like to know, hey, what's the outcome? What's the goal here? Meaning, what's the desired outcome of all this, right? What are we doing? And I don't do anything normally in my life unless there's a purpose to it, right? I don't just do like something randomly, just like, oh, let's just go.
Well, which though
see what
brings us
happens.
to an interesting conversation with humility when we sit here going, why the heck are we going to do this anyway?
What do you mean?
Well, like 4 o'clock, we're going to come on and talk
Because I
about
want to
stuff.
see our people.
I
want to see the peeps.
No, I know.
want to connect.
I know, but my point is that I don't know. It just seems like interesting. So anyway,
Well, we're out then.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Turn it off.
don't do it. Turn it off. We'll
Let's
see
go.
ya.
Bye.
So we were.
So every day, every
Yeah,
Wednesday,
like,
I'm
what are we
like,
going to talk about?
what are we going to talk about? When we used to do this in the mornings, oh my God, it was every morning at 6 o'clock. I was like, what are we talking about today? And he would always be like, I don't know. What do you want? And he would say something, and then I would go.
You'd be like, no, that sucks. That sucks. No, that's stupid.
Oh, I
no.
never say it was stupid.
Yes.
Oh, maybe sometimes.
Yeah,
I guess.
and then or you're like,
But not like you're stupid. But like,
no, I know. I didn't say
nobody
you said
cares
I
about that.
was stupid.
Right. Okay.
You said that was stupid. That's a dumb idea. Or
Man, now I feel like a real jerk.
yeah, you should. And they're like, oh, it's all we talk about.
Yeah, we talked about that
We
last
talked about
week.
we talked about yesterday. We talked about that, and
Yeah. Okay. So it sucks to be you with me in this scenario. Sorry about
that's
that.
not. Well, that wasn't the point. I guess
okay.
what we're getting at is to talk about just even navigating those types of conversations when you're with anybody and they're wanting to do something different or not at all.
Well, inadvertently, then I would always say, I would come up with a topic, right? And then I would surprise you and you could riff on the topic.
Right.
But for me, yeah, the topic has to speak to me to even want to do it. Like it has to be like energetically compelling or interesting to me. I don't talk to talk.
I'm
You know
not
what I mean?
suggesting.
Neither do you.
Yeah.
But you can talk about anything. You're one of these people, like you can make small talk. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go anywhere and talk about anything. I don't have that power. In fact, I don't want to talk about everything. I don't want to make small talk. I want to have talk with a purpose.
Yeah.
So, I
the-
got to align with the purpose, I guess. in order to have the
sometimes,
conversation.
sometimes the purpose
So tough to
is
be me
just
sometimes in my head.
to share what's going on, because that was kind of the point of this. Like our idea was to just share. Not that we're all that interesting. It's just that we do have a unique, for some set of circumstances, in that we work together.
Sometimes sleep together. No.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's just,
Sometimes when Ellie's not kicking you off of the bed.
yeah, and we also, yes, live together. We have a child, and it's an interesting dynamic because it's not everybody can work together and be in a relationship. So
Oh my gosh! And a lot of people are actually either working
are
together
now.
or side by side doing different things, but just to really bring that home, that whole thing about only wanting to talk about things that are like really important or really impactful. I remember a while back when I first started making videos, a media company contacted me and said, "Hey, we really love your videos. We want to like work with you, and we want to expand your horizon and then pitch a show." Like ultimately that's what they said. And I was like, okay, well, what's entailed? Well, you're gonna have to like go do your lives every day, and you're gonna have to like go in your life and just be. And I'm like, oh, that's not me. I'm not the person that's gonna be like, and now I'm at the restaurant and here's my food, and now look, like I don't get off on that, nor do I like that kind of thing. Like, hey, here's me again. Here's me again. I get annoyed by that.
Actually, so
without a purpose.
Yeah.
Like,
So
why am I
can you chime in? And
with
we're using this eCam, so I don't know. It usually comes up if we have some comments. So I don't know if there are any. But can you share? Share whether it's live now or if you're watching the replay. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you really, when you see someone posting
about themselves,
just like a picture, a selfie, or whatever, you like, oh, this is really interesting. I want to look, or you just like, oh yeah, scroll. Like, and here's what's really interesting too, though. So you may or may not know, we've this is kind of a spin-off of The Real Deal on, and for a little while I was able to, because of time, book a lot of great people to share their story, to share what they've overcome. Big people like James Arthur Ray and poor David Shermer and Omar Periu and Richie Kanata and Stephen Wolf and like all these incredible people. Dee Snider, Marshall Silver, like we get Paul Fink, Walter Amarello, like we're getting all these amazing people who have incredible things to share, and not much people, and we got enough people to connect with, and they're like, meh.
I used to get really upset. Yeah, but if you post a picture of like your new shoes.
No, not even that. If people get into arguments over, I posted something about dealing with the HOA and the lockdown and all that, and people have a lot of opinions on that. They got a lot of complaints.
Sometimes it's easier to participate in conversations like that.
I know it's easier to
complain
than to do something.
Well, I mean, I think that I experienced that where, I'm building my business, and YouTube is one of my main platforms, right? Where I make videos on there. Hey, YouTube. And what's up? And I don't have a ton of views on there, but I make the biggest impact over there because I have people that message me and say, oh my God, you changed my life. So when I post on social media, like on Facebook or Instagram, I really don't get a lot of people. Some people watching the videos and whatever, but if I post a selfie, it's like people are then like, oh yeah, like your selfie. But like to me, that seems so arbitrary. But
well, right. So
I don't know. You gotta. I don't know. Do you have to play that game or do that or what?
So that's the question for all of our friends here on social. Because here's the irony.
We're getting socialed out, man.
Here's the irony. Here we are on the platform that we are having
talking
the quandary.
Smack about.
We're not talking smack. Excuse me, not smack necessarily. We're just kind of navigating the dichotomy of how social media is used, what expectations are. Is it a place to vent? Like, has it become? It's almost become a fake news source and a place to vent, and then also celebrate themselves. And,
a lot of people are like getting out of Dodge right now. I think after The Social Dilemma, that movie too. Have you seen that yet? I think a lot of people were like, okay. I heard somebody say something really cool the other day that I thought, man, that's such a good. I always like these speakers or teachers that talk like a sermon, like you're taking you to church. You know what I mean? And,
like Dr. Stan Harris, another guest on. Yes,
Dr. Stan Harris. So shout out. But he was like really serious. He reminded me of TD Jakes a little in that kind of energy, and he was like, Facebook is a tool, not a toy. And I was like, hell yeah, Facebook is a tool, not a toy. And so we like to use it as a tool to be able to communicate, to be able to share ideas, to be able to help people. Ultimately, that was the conversation we had today in the car.
Yeah.
Scrolling through social media, it's like and ultimately that's why I didn't go with that media company, because I only want to talk when I have something useful to say. I don't like to talk just for the sake of being like, here's me. I don't need that kind of attention. I don't want that kind of attention. But if I feel like I have something of value to give people, that inspires me to speak up, to make a video. And I can't, so I have to be inspired. I have to feel like, yeah, this is a message that needs to be heard. This is something, and maybe I'm overestimating myself. You know, maybe sometimes they're real stinkers, but in my mind, I think like it's one person. If I feel like one person can find it valuable, then it's worth it to me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ever just do anything arbitrary. Like, let's get on and just talk about fish. Like, why?
Right. Well,
Why?
I mean,
You know?
that's.
I can't. I won't. I won't do it.
You what?
I won't do it.
So you have a little device here. Well, and there's the challenge as well, is that at some point, what are the expectations? Do we want to have that? And part of the motivation behind us doing this and wanting to do it consistently and have it be a little bit of an insight to just being human is that if everything is so prepped, is everything is always, so
Curated.
purposeful that there isn't a little bit behind the curtain, a little bit of like, oh, you're human as well. As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
think
the
that's a really good point.
yeah, a lot of the training I've been doing I do training for sales and marketing and leadership and so forth, and doing it virtually now. And a lot of the feedback that came back from people who are now involved in it is they actually appreciate and don't mind, as a matter of fact, enjoy when there's the dog barking or the person, walking through like it makes it feel human as opposed to polished and perfect.
I
and
think
the challenges,
curated version, the curated shape-shifting has come to an end. I think people are tired of inauthenticity. Thank God, finally. Because I've been singing that song for a long time.
well, we've been, I think, for lack of a better word,
Like
have
Rented
been authentic.
Plans.
We've been authentic the whole time, although we are very, and with humility, very talented at what we do. So sometimes it seems very
You're
polished.
really humble. I'm just noticing that now. I'm just kidding. So, but I think the authenticity, like sometimes when I hear that other, like talking about this or that, or you're like talking about yourself without something like of import, something important to say, something that helps another human, it just seems so self-serving. And I hope that the self-serving agenda is being like busted up.
Well, here's
Like
what's
people are like,
interesting.
okay, dude, what's the point of this?
But
So I can look at you again? What do I
Well,
care?
here's what's
What do I
interesting,
care?
though. So here we are having our
I get
conversation
very
here.
angry about it, I guess. I get really hot.
And our desire to help people and make a difference is still self-serving.
Well, yeah, you want to fulfill your purpose on the planet to that degree.
So
sure.
there you go. All right, then. So
So
we
I'll
can
be real
agree.
self-righteous, and I'll be like, well, it's a better way to serve yourself
Right.
than your fleeting ego. It's a real mission purpose. It's a spiritual thing. I'll do a spiritual bypass on you and just go
for it.
straight to the Christ consciousness. But,
Well,
you
and
know,
that's still, well, I mean,
so what
is
did you
that
want to
still
talk
legit?
about today?
We're talking about it is that conversation about, why do this? Why we do this?
Do people
why
do
we?
people really like that? Like when
Yeah.
you're scrolling through and you see you see Jane's, shrimp, you know what I mean? Or I mean, just like, I don't know what people are. I guess maybe people like that. That's why social media is so.
Well, there are. In fairness,
I guess
there are a
people
lot
like
of
that.
people who do. I mean, I've been guilty of taking pictures of a meal. Like there are people who that's their whole thing is taking pictures of their food. God bless them. There's a market for that apparently, because those food blogs and food pictures. I mean, I guess it's similar to pictures of cats.
Yeah, well, that's what gets the most hits. And now here's the unfortunate thing. So if you want to build your business, you post a picture of a puppy, an animal, a child, or, what else is there? Relationship stuff, animals, children, food. I mean, I guess.
Wait, that's how you build your business is
I
by
guess.
pictures of a
I
cat?
think so. I've been
Weird.
building my business through Facebook and Instagram, through YouTube. And I finally was like going to get serious about the business. I've been in business for myself, like without a corporate sponsor, a contract, or being an entrepreneur for 3 years now. And hey, it's going great, right? I mean, we're building the business, 6-figure business, great. Should know how to do that because I teach other coaches how to do that. But I want to grow and I want to build it and I want to really take it off. And so finally I hired somebody, a web guy who I think is absolutely brilliant, to be like, tell me what's going on. And he was like, well, first of all, he's like, none of your stuff comes from any of these platforms. None of your leads, none of your business comes from any of these platforms. It comes from people searching into Google, and he's like, and you need to double down, and gave me this whole strategy that has nothing to do with social media at all. But I think we are so like, oh, social media is the way, that we have to, we have to be doing it this way. And
so there are people who do make it work, and that's great.
And they spend a lot of money.
Yeah, no, not in dispute. And there are also people who make it look like they're doing better on the social media platforms, and
that's what I'm sick of. So it's not that people are, I guess food isn't my issue. It's the people like, I guess the shape shifting. They're wanting to present that things are one way when they're really not that way. And I know damn well they're not that way because I know the person, or I know the situation, or I know the thing. And it's like, why do you care? Who are you doing this for? Shelley and Poughkeepsie? Well, like, what do you care? What?
So, well, then the reason why people do that. So I'll give you a great example.
Why not just go off of Facebook? If you have to go on Facebook and pretend to be somebody else, why are you even on there?
Well,
that's
agreed.
That's
separate, but a separate question, a separate issue.
If it hurts you that bad.
Separate issue, though. So imagine this for a minute. I was with a friend of mine who is a real estate. A couple of my friends actually had this happen. Real estate, does high-end, multi-million-dollar homes. That is the market that he works in. That's who he sells to. That's who he lists for.
I'm listening to you. I'm just going to look at this real quick.
And one of the things he shared was he was talking with someone. He's like interviewing, or they were interviewing him, and they want to list with him. And they wanted to walk him to his car. Mm-hmm. Why?
I don't know.
Because he wanted to see if this guy was a baller. He wanted to see what kind of car he drove. If he wasn't driving a high-end car, that would be saying to this person, right or wrong, would be saying to this person, he's not as successful. He is not going to do a great job selling my multi-million-dollar house because that's not the world he lives in. Another friend of ours, same thing. His marketing budget was to buy an expensive car because as an attorney, if people saw him driving not one of the high-end vehicles, they would think he's not good enough. He's not as successful. Then he's not going to be the top person to get the gig. So the reason why a lot of people do that in this world is to have that appearance so that people will trust in them and go, okay, if you're that successful, if you have this many followers, if you have all of this, you must be good. And it creates confirmation bias when going into the conversation. It's that marketing ahead of time, and it worked for some of the people that we know were not being honest.
The first thing that I do when somebody approaches me to help me, because I get a lot of people now saying, let me help you grow your business, right? So
let me help you grow your YouTube channel.
Let me help you grow your YouTube channel. I go to their YouTube channel. They've got 53 subscribers. Let me help you blow up your Instagram. Okay, let me go to your Instagram. You've got 600
Which is why
followers.
Those people would then go buy all of those followers.
I got an email that said, hey, let me help you grow your followers. Here's $100 for 10,000 followers. This is the world that we're living in, and it's very frustrating for me because I value authenticity. And so I'm just... I hope it's bursting. I hope that people are seeing through that, but I feel like we're getting permeated even more. There are more coaches. Now, since I certify coaches, this is like becoming even more apparent to me, right? That there are people who've never built a successful coaching practice. They have never had clients. They've never had a program. Their first attempt at running a coaching business is teaching coaches how to have a coaching business. That is their first attempt.
That's the classic, the marketer selling marketing.
It's a marketer selling marketing. And it's, to me, the life coach that teaches you how to be a life coach, how to have a successful coaching practice, that's the only thing they've ever done is take your money. I mean, to me, that just is mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling. And I wish there was a better way. I wish there was a way for it just to be like, false news on people's ads. Why can't we get that? Why can't we get a fake news on people's advertising so that we can go, hey, this is bullshit. This person never did this.
Oh, we didn't.
This person is not successful. You know? Let's read some of your comments.
Yeah, so now we found a way to get, so we're getting some of your comments.
There they are.
They were hidden.
Hey, Debbie.
Wow, okay.
Hey,
So,
Amy. Hey, Darlene.
just feeling as though people are more focused on unimportant things. Unfortunately, yes, Darlene, I see that a lot.
So, I mean, I think that right now...
It's a distraction.
Like, I do. I think even during the pandemic, now this is going to be controversial, okay? But I think that... Let's go back to Katie's comment. I'm going to read it. But I think that when the pandemic first hit, we were focused on, oh my gosh, everybody's like mask or no mask. And I'm not saying that's not important to a lot of people. It is. But from my perspective, we were totally focused on the wrong thing, because what we really were going to have at the end of that was a mental health crisis. Addiction was going to increase. Domestic violence was going to increase. People getting left behind in school was going to increase. Overdoses were going to increase. Suicides were going to increase. So this is, for me, I have an ability to always see the big picture, to see past what the crisis is. And I think that that's my training. That's my upbringing, is the ability to look in a crisis and see the big picture. So I always feel, for the most part, like we're focused on the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. It's like John Maxwell has this great story about we're living in a jungle, and the people are down, the producers, the workers in the world are down there clearing out the bush, and the managers are behind them with their manuals going, well, here's how you can be more efficient. And the supervisors are managing the managers, giving them trainings on efficiency. But the leader is the one that climbs the tallest tree in the jungle, surveys the land and goes, wrong jungle. And like, that's real leadership, is to be able to see, what are we focused on? So what did Katie say? Now that I think about it, the feeling that triggers me to look at Facebook is wanting to check out of my mind. I can't read because I'm blind. And the triggers that lead me to log onto YouTube are usually, what, I can't see that far.
Basically, she's saying that she...
Dealing with something, self-development.
For YouTube.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's why... Oh, there, you put it up there high. That's
you just
exactly...
saw that?
No, yeah, so I was reading it down there.
Okay.
The reason that I'm successful on YouTube, and Katie's, going to be coaching, and is because people are on YouTube searching for that help. On Facebook, they're scrolling. They don't want to care. Like, they're like, what am I going to watch this for? They're not seeking out self-development or self-help. That's why all of my marketing efforts are switching over, and have been, to Google, doubling down on the YouTube, and writing, the things that are really going to make.
Well, I'm going to get a little anti, I don't know, politically incorrect at the moment.
Amy said, social media is a place to connect with those people.
Social media is great to connect with people. The challenge is that we need to, I believe, step back and be more compassionate. And, people can have opinions. And what is happening is there's a combination of things. One, I don't want to get too political in all of this, but there actually is censorship happening now with these platforms, that YouTube and Twitter and all these places are basically shutting people down for having an opinion that some people don't like. And the challenge with this is, if we've created a challenge by relying on social media for information. And even though we may trust someone, they may be getting information through a vacuum. And, I'll give you an example. If you know anybody, or you've done this, if you've defriended someone because they have a differing opinion than you, the challenge is we're going to create bubbles and vacuums that do not give us opposing points of view that allow us to grow. Yeah. The Social Dilemma. And that is so obvious without that movie. You just see it. I've seen, and I'm sure everyone watching this has, even, or maybe I felt it. I've never done it, but there have been times when I see people posting something that I'm like, ugh. And I've thought about not deleting them, but hiding from my feed. But then I'm like, why would I do that? That's not, like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And if I disagree with them, it gives me an opportunity to go, okay, well, let me try that on. Like, what is the energy behind it? What's the motivation behind it? Where are the facts behind it? And it's okay if I disagree and then go, oh, you know what? Actually come around. So again, back to though, what are you using this tool for?
Well, for me, I'm switching gears because my threshold for all that has there's nothing left. Okay. So Amy's right. I mean, I think that, and Katie's, and Katie too, I didn't read Darlene's comment. She said, I very rarely trust social media for the important references that I need. I feel work associates, friends are a better source of knowledge. After reading lots of reviews. Yes, exactly. So for me, I have a group, Love Yourself First Empowerment, the Life Squad. And I like to go in there and I'm going to go in there more and connect inside that little group, because those really are my people ultimately, that I've reached out to and want to connect with, and my page, my Love Coach Heidi page, because on there again. But for me, it is about connecting, I connect through sharing information. I connect through teaching. I connect through sharing experiences and telling stories and being together. That is how I connect. So I need to honor that and get more involved. And so it's really about abandoning, for me, it has been for like the last 2 years, abandoning this personal page where it's just like, but the problem is I go on my page where I want to connect as a resource and give information and be with people, but then Facebook buries it. And you get punished for that. You get, it gets hidden. It gets, so it's like, unless I want to pay, I can't connect with you. Unless I want to pay to connect with you, I can't connect with you.
The other thing
and
that
it's
happens,
difficult. It's very frustrating.
The other thing that happens that we need to be cognizant of is the algorithms. So if you're a person who, when you see something that bothers you, and you comment on it and you go, arg, this, that, and the other, and I tell you another thing, Facebook goes, that's what you want, because you're engaging in it. They want you spending as much time on there. They're monitoring everything that you do, that we do. So if you're commenting on stuff, you're going to get more things to comment on. So the more you can spend on things that are more positive, the things that you want, it's going to see more of that. And that kind of goes to my point earlier, where a lot of times there are more people who are spending time complaining as opposed to celebrating, as opposed to sharing greatness, as opposed to, so we have a few people engaging here with us now, having great conversations and adding value. There are how many millions of people on there who are probably watching some other live that's going, F this guy, F that guy.
Well, we're complaining too.
Huh?
We're complaining too, ultimately.
We are, but,
What?
What do we do about that?
We have the solution, which is finding a way to get out of that loop. I mean, I really think the Facebook thing, we're on Facebook saying this, but I really think that it's gonna change is coming. There's going to be a new platform, or there already are platforms, I know for sure, where it's more about connection and less about, in order to connect, you have to pay to reach the people you want to be connecting with. And
the other thing is Instagram is blowing up more than Facebook, and it's much smaller interactions. Everything is so short. It's like our attention spans are diminishing.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try that group. I'm going to try to build up that group. If you want to find it, I'll put the link on my page to it. But Love Yourself First Empowerment Life, LYFE Squad. And I know some of you guys are in there. Amy, I think you're in there. I know Katie's in there. Maybe one of you guys can put the link in there. That would probably be helpful. But Debbie's definitely in there. Debbie's here. Erica's in there as well. And so there's a lot of great women in there. You see, I don't know, Darlene, are you in there? You should be in there too. But I think that, building this community now is more important than ever, to kind of be in community with each other. And like-minded people is important to me. We all want to be talking about the same things and working towards the same goals, which is ultimately this, For me, it's this loving yourself. It's this empowerment through finding your real value and speaking your truth and setting boundaries and taking radical self-care, care of yourself. So I like coming on here and doing this because if I can connect with you here, we can all come over there in that group and say, okay, let's like be more intimate and out. I want to get out of this noise. That's basically for me. YouTube, I'm out of the noise. I've got my own little corner of the world where I have a group of people that expect these videos, love these videos, message me directly from these videos, comment on there. I feel like I get to know people on YouTube, which is crazy because it's much bigger ultimately than Facebook, where I feel like I'm just getting lost and I'm not able to connect in the way that I really want to.
Well, and also that's why I also do the live networking, because the virtual is great and so forth, and at the end of the day, we need to connect more deeply.
Yeah, I want to connect deeper. I want to go deep. I'd rather go deep than wide. At this point, I used to think about going wide. I want to have more people or get exposed to more people. But at this point, like I see the relationships I build on YouTube with a very small network of people, that a lot of those people actually become my clients. Mm-hmm. Some of those people I'm certifying as coaches that have come through there. It's like, and now we're working together to really change the planet. And I get this might sound like business to some of you, where I'm saying, hey, I'm building, but ultimately I have a purpose that's bigger than my business. So like what we were talking about earlier, it's not, my business is nice. That's a nice way to look at it, but that's not how I see it. I really see it as my mission in life, my purpose. I see it as developing other leaders, developing other mission-driven people to go out and live their purpose. I believe that we're creating a tribe that's going to change the world. Ultimately, I mean, the work that we do, breaking toxic cycles, ending dysfunctional family dynamics, things to me that really matter at the end of the day. And that purpose is stronger now than it has ever been because of the state of the world. I mean, it's wow. So that's the complaining, but that's the solution, right? Is building these networks and strengthening and deepening our relationships with the people that we're connecting to. Not coming on to get likes, not coming on to post pictures so people will like it. And I think that's coming full circle here, guys, is that when there's meaning and purpose, we're developing connections. We're going deep with each other. We're getting to know each other. We're supporting one another, getting to know our goals, visions, dreams, and hopes. And we're having these relationships. We're not doing drive-by thumbs up. Sorry, we're not doing drive-by thumbs up.
Well, that
I'm
actually lowers
attention,
that lowers your ranking.
Yeah, I don't want attention.
If you just like and you don't stop and engage.
I don't want attention. I want relationship. I don't want views. I want conversation.
Well, now
so
in
that's
fairness,
totally
in fairness though, here's what's interesting. That is what Facebook wants as well. They don't they punish you if all you do is just like. If all you do is scroll by and you hit like, and they even measure how long you're doing that. If you don't even watch it and you're just doing random likes, it punishes you. You don't get shown for that. You get shown when you engage. They want engagement. They want conversation. They want that. And if all you're doing is just, scrolling by, and as it's going, it's like the obligatory, if I don't like this, they're going to go, why didn't you like it? You're actually hurting yourself if you want to use Facebook as a way to be seen. If you're not doing stuff to be seen, all you're doing is, trolling and liking, what you post won't be put up very far in the algorithms, because they want engagement as well. It's an interesting dynamic that we're all in, because the more separated we get by proximity, the more we're needing to engage more on the on the platforms. So there you go.
Katie said, your YouTube videos definitely helped me get back in the arena of my life. The morning videos of you and Doug are actually some of my favorites.
Well, now
I appreciate
in
that,
the
Katie.
afternoon. Thank you.
That was in the morning. We did that for a while, and
Yeah.
we did connect. But then we felt like, we were able to build some relationships and be with you. And that's what this thing is, at 4:00 is to just come here and just spend time with you and be with you and connect and answer your specific questions, or just share what's on our mind, or you share what's on your mind. And
I do a story almost every morning.
yeah, Doug does a morning story. It's like 3 minutes, but it's something that really just gives you that like little burst of motivation for the day. And we can look at, hey, maybe in the life group, in the life squad, we want to come in there and, do our morning things. And maybe we want to make our own videos. Maybe you want to make a video, Katie. Maybe you want to come in there and do a morning inspiration. We would love to have that, because your participation in these things
Yeah, I mean, if you're
are helpful too.
By the way, if you are in a
Deb
group like
always
that,
posts quotes in there for everybody. She does really good ones.
if you're in a group like that, there's no reason why you can't do a live or upload a video right into
Come on
it.
in there and share what's going on.
That's what a lot of the groups are asking for as well. Like these group challenges. They're like, okay, so now throw in a 1 or 2 minute video. Tony did it, and it's definitely another way to keep that flow going. And that's why also when we posted on this is we want this to be a two-way conversation, not to just be, us going, here's what we think. Because so what? Really the end of the day, our mission is to serve and make a difference. And we can't make a difference if we don't know, A, what specifically maybe some needs are, and B, if no one is around to receive said messaging and connect with each other as well.
Anything else on your mind tonight, dude?
No, I think we did pretty good.
Sans topic. Yeah, winging it, guys. Reformed control freak over here, up in the house, going with the flow, just letting it come and go, right? Just riffing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you have any questions, topics, ideas, concerns, things you want to share, we can also do interviews. So we
can bring you up.
Yeah. So if you're like, hey, I got something to say.
Or if you just want a hot seat, like if you're brave enough to come in and get some coaching on the spot, wouldn't that be fun? Oh my God.
We'd have to set
I think that
up.
would be so fun.
Yeah, we can't do that impromptu.
Okay. We'd have to let us know in advance.
Yeah, I got to send you the link for it.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Well, hey, You Rock Speaking is down there because Douglas has a training coming up. If you've ever thought about becoming a speaker, but you don't know, what your messaging really is, it's not crystal clear what the message is that you have or how you would position yourself or package yourself, that is going to be a very intensive, is it 8 weeks? 6-week training. Just mind-blowing, where you can drill down your message, you can know specifically who your target market is and how to appeal to those people. And you also get what a lot of other speaker trainings don't get. This is going to be small. You are going to be able to get real-time feedback. So you're going to craft your signature speech within that workshop and get practice at it. So that you'll be able to do a webinar, you'll be able to do your lives, you'll be able to make your YouTube content, whatever that it is. And I'm going to be there with them because it's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm sure I'm going to be in and out of that training.
And we're going to have a group for that as well. So when you record something, post sharing, it up. Yeah.
I really just want to encourage you, if you've ever thought about using your voice to change the world, take advantage of this opportunity for this 8 weeks. It's really a deep dive, and it's unlike 6 weeks. It's unlike anything else, because other programs just really stay on the surface and you learn information, but you never have a chance to implement or practice it. And so this is really theory and practicum. You're going to get the meat, the education, but you're going to actually do the dang thing. So by the time you leave the course, you will have experience saying what it is that you need to say, you're going to say in the world.
And this is to break through all the noise, because there are plenty of people out there speaking right now. The challenge is that they may not be as together as they could be. They may not have some of the tools and the skills that are really valuable now more than ever, because the camera not only may add a pound or two, it also takes away some of the other tools and resources one may have when live. Like when you're live, there are plenty of speakers out there who are very polished and do great live. When you're on camera, when you're doing presentations and trainings within this world, it's a little bit different, and in some ways it's very different. So a lot of the potential patterns and crutches we may have had, some devices we've had to use in live experiences, aren't as accessible virtually. So that's why it's really important.
Let's dumb that down. You could be really good live and suck virtually. Okay. And you need to get it together. All right. So if you want those skills, reach out. And also you can go to urockspeaking.com. It's down there, but you can also send Doug a message and he'll walk you through. And, it's definitely sale priced. However, if you're having trouble financially, we never let finances stand in the way. So we'll figure out some kind of thing that'll work for you. So if you're interested at all, just reach out about it. Okay. Don't think you can't do it before you even know what it is. All right.
Indeed.
Okay. We love you.
We love you for who you are and who you aren't.
Thanks for being here, guys.
See you later.
Bye.